While I'm recovering from my injuries, I've been thinking of different subjects we can cover on the channel, and today I want to take you on an adventure, mixing two of my great passions, FIFA and music. I know, how very basic of me. Warning, this video will of course be opinionated, and although I had the advice and feelings of my viewers, ultimately the decision was mine to make. It's the right one in my head and heart, but if you think differently at any stage of the process, then that's great too. Music is art, art is subjective. I'd be concerned if we all came to the same answer, but my job is to come up with a good answer, an answer we can all get behind. So the big question, what is the greatest FIFA song ever? Well, that can have many answers depending on how you define greatest. But to draw any proper conclusion, you would need to have first listened to everything from FIFA's vast catalogue. And who on earth has the time for that? Oh yeah, me. Yep, my music-obsessed self skimmed over every song that has ever graced a main FIFA title in the hopes of finding one very special song in a pool of absolute bangers. I've decided to put in snippets of tracks to enhance your experience watching, so be aware I don't make any money from this video, not a single penny. You can repay me for my efforts by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing this content on social media. It's taken many hours to choose one song. It takes seconds to help out, so thank you in advance. Now, it's important to note that this is only about the seasonal FIFA installments and not the old standalone World Cup games. Waving Flag by Canon is absolutely goated, and this video becomes a pointless exercise if it's included. We all say, when I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. I get older, I will be stronger. They'll call me freedom, just like a waving flag. The video idea actually started out as me trying to find the greatest FIFA song that has never been on FIFA. But after only 20 minutes, I was convinced that it was Move Your Feet by Junior Senior, and that finding the greatest FIFA song on the soundtracks themselves was a much more arduous task. That was mainly down to the pain we'd have to suffer along the way to get it down to just one song. One perfect embodiment of the video game we all grew up with, what this community is built upon. So let's make it clear what we're trying to find. Alpha Media, in their wonderful video on what makes a song a FIFA song, set some solid ground rules on what every soundtrack should aim to achieve. To be fun, to attract a global audience, and to expose fresh talents. Now, it's quite difficult to apply the same rules to individual songs, but it gave us foundations nonetheless. Because of the sheer number of great songs pumped into these video games, we needed a tougher screening process to whittle down the numbers. We were looking for a song bursting with energy that could calm you down even after the most painful of defeats, or could hype you up before an important match. A song not fixed in one genre, that tapped into a wider array of sounds, something so broad in its appeal, everyone likes it and yet can only provoke memories of playing FIFA. This one song must be popular and recognisable to FIFA players, but outside is a complete unknown. Once I press play on this beautiful new speaker I recently purchased, you should be transported to a place, a moment in the past, controller in hand, playing FIFA back in the day. That to me is the greatest FIFA song. But if you are one for the popular songs, that is absolutely fine. I too think John Newman's Love Me Again is unbelievable. Maybe it doesn't carry the same energy throughout as our eventual winners, but the chorus begs to be sung, a euphoric anthem that urges you to join in. It's absolutely no wonder it went to #1 in the UK charts, and maybe that was helped by the FIFA audience. Unfortunately, due to its overwhelming success, it has now transcended the video game. Radio and TV got a hold of it and twisted our memories. It would place exceptionally high on my top 50 FIFA songs of all time, which I want to do as a follow-up to this video, but if I was just hunting for the most popular FIFA song of all time, I would have just ran a poll and be done with it. I want something more than that. I want people to respond to our winners like, wow, that was a great song. I remember playing FIFA with this in the background. I've never heard it since. This, to me, is FIFA. The Knights, LSF, Supermassive Black Hole, Red Morning Light, all eliminated due to their severe dependence on one musical genre. Sounds so distinctive, they can cause divisive reactions on a larger scale. This list goes on and on, a collection of incredible songs that I can already hear being typed up into the comments. I wanted something universal that fans of rock, rap, pop, dance could all come together for. Not only do I think we've succeeded in that aspect, but we've managed to find a song that bridges the gap between those heavy rock-influenced soundtracks of the past and the more rap electronic soundtracks of the present day. Before we talk about some of the frontrunners, let's talk about non-runners. Songs not on Spotify, meaning they were more difficult to track and compare. I'm not one for having 25 YouTube tabs open at once. It's one of the few things that totally freaks out my PC. The glorious Wele Wele by 5-time Grammy Award-winning Angelique Kidjo, eliminated simply because it wasn't on the platform. You'd imagine Flow Rider having his entire library on Spotify, wouldn't you? Nah, Let It Roll Part 2 featuring Lil Wayne, not available. TV Razao by Su George, Clash by Junkie XL, Platform Moon by Jupiter One. Why are these not on Spotify? Matt and Kim's Daylight, the Troublemaker remix featuring De La Soul. You are killing me here. What a banger. Why is this not on Spotify? Get Down by Amplify. Another one lost far too early. Even though we lost so many amazing tracks, thankfully the rightful winner of this competition is on Spotify, languishing on 600,000 total plays. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if 90% of those were FIFA related. When I say this thing had no traction outside of the game, I really do mean it. A lone star, drifting through space, its existence forgotten, its beauty seemingly never to be admired again. Right, here we go. Let's talk about the early favourite in conversations with friends, mods, admins, one song dominated. Busy Earning by Jungle. The London-based funk and soul group had all the global appeal that we were after, but the glorious Busy Earning had taken on a life of its own after the appearance on FIFA. The BBC used it liberally. Toyota used it in a Yaris hybrid advert. It appeared on sports coverage, US TV shows, UK TV shows. Busy Earning is everywhere, and that's wonderful. I don't sling the term around a lot, but that song is a masterpiece. Pulsating with life and happiness, carefree of the troubles we all face, but that continual use fades the soul connection we once had. The song loses its exclusivity. Talking of exclusivity, how about songs that have been used in other video games? Yes, they unfortunately made their way out as well. Slowly but surely. Helicopter by Block Party, a big loss, but it's used in Guitar Hero, Project Gotham Racing, Burnout, and Colin McRae Dirt. Helicopter is not as much of an offender as Jerk It Out by Caesars. This track was used in LMA Manager 2005. I mean, it's a competing football game, for crying out loud. So where to next? South America. In the sea of samba classics, a Chilean indie band stuck out like a sore thumb. Panda by Astro was everything that I was looking for. Personally, it ticked every box. Booming, bouncing, super nostalgic, and immediately recognisable. The new, firm favourite to take home the crown. In the end, it crumbled against stiff competition, and astonishingly, we had people in the chat that didn't like its brashness. But it did teach us one thing. Its particular use of synths and drums mattered. Its almost childlike joy dancing on those instruments gave an overall sound synonymous with FIFA menus. We zoned in on that, and without Panda by Astro, this search might have taken so much longer. Before we unveil the winner, we need to talk about the runner-up, because I don't really see it as a runner-up, more so a winner for a younger generation, folks that didn't play FIFA before 2011. So if you're in your early 20s or younger, this is for you. This is your winner. Family Band's Come Alive is insane. It is the ultimate hype-up song on FIFA 15. The soundtrack that accompanies this game is gargantuan, and sitting pretty on top is this gem. It's as intense as watching a blockbuster movie's ending scene, and being on a video game that is regarded as one of the best FIFAs, dearly missed by the masses, only helps the appeal. It encapsulates all those FIFA song ingredients better than all other songs, bar one. Now, for those of you who have played FIFA 10, I hope this transports you to a special place, a simpler time in your life. This, for me, is the greatest FIFA song ever. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think Head Straight by Alex Metric would be the answer to our burning question. But it's that obscurity which made coming back to it so magical. We all seemingly forgot about it and moved on, but in turn never forgot about the feeling it gave us. Come Alive gives you the sense of watching something grand in front of you. Head Straight is determined to drag you through that at 100 miles an hour. Its bass is a non-stop barrage that was handed down by the gods. The synths stabbing and building throughout. You think the song is done, but it keeps on adding layers at every chorus. The break at 1 minute 33 allows the bass to take center stage again. With so many instrumental changes, the song never loses energy. It is a superbly thought out piece of music, masterfully produced by someone who has thankfully gone on to bigger and better things. Metric himself has won a Grammy, produced for the likes of Dua Lipa and Charlie XCX. Head Straight is a footprint on his journey that is almost frozen in time, a time capsule that we've just opened. Maybe it was too new, too different for 2009, too in your face to be given airtime on the radio stations. I feel Gorilla's Plastic Beach was ahead of its time, and that came out a year later. This has aged like a fine wine, and I want to give it the respect it deserves, for it doesn't just make people remember FIFA, but on certain consoles as well. I see comments on YouTube of people just screaming, Nintendo DS! And sure enough, loading up an emulated version of FIFA 10 for the DS, there it was, Alex Metric's Head Straight. It doesn't just stand on its own as a great piece of music, but one of the very few songs EA picked to be on the DS version. It was some people's entry point into the franchise. Before they could choose a team, before a ball was kicked, people heard this song. It is iconic. It is the greatest representation of FIFA music. However, that is my opinion, and you're absolutely entitled to your own. I could go and give special mentions to a load of songs, but we'd be here all day. One song in particular that got so much love was Cobra Style by Teddy Bears, a song dating back to FIFA 06. It clearly held a place in a lot of people's hearts, including mine. Thank you for watching. If I didn't mention a particular song, it doesn't mean that I hate it. I'll try and respond to as many people in the comment section as I can. I love talking about music. Big thanks to my Patreons who have been so supportive as I recover. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.